Jack did not have Schwalbe tyres on his dark matter, so we got rid of the crap tyres that were on it. And we're putting on my old Schwalbe Overlands onto it, which are 45mm tyre, bigger, wider tyre. Previously he was running 38, so it's gonna be much nicer in terms of descending and just comfort generally of riding. They've got plenty of life left in them, they haven't punctured, so I thought, do you know what? Let's put them on Jack's bike. It's got no wheels. And then following from that, the new RX and R Pro on my Enves. I'm gonna do a bit naughty stuff and put larger tyres on than you're supposed to. First, we've got the old tyres off. Got your front wheel. Putting the rear tyre on the front and the front tyre on the rear. There's already sealant left in these, so we're just gonna continue with that. Got to make sure I get the tread direction the right way though, which is that way.
Why would you put the front on the rear and the rear on the front?
Put the front on the rear and the rear on the front because the rear has got a bit more wear on it than the front tyre. So the logic is basically put that on the front because it's slightly more worn. If I could be really bothered, I would completely take out all of the old sealant in this, but I can't, to be totally honest. Should probably take some of this off though. It's like something from Alien, isn't it? Goop. Sealant does dry out, and that's fine. Right way round. Trying to save sealant, that's the important bit, because there's no need to waste it. If it's still good, just reuse it. Check the logos are right. Because there's already sealant in this, you just need to spin it round. I'm a big, strong boy. Went to the gym this morning. Bosh. On the rim, Nick has a compressor, I do not, but I have a pump. This is a Bontrager one. Has a built-in compressor. F***ing chips. And then you let it go. Come on, pop it, pop it. No pop. Deaf guy trying to listen. And then just check in around the bead to make sure it has actually seated, which it has. Take the valve core off with our handy little valve core tool, which you had on your valves already, which was a little bonus. And as I said about reusing sealant, this is some of the old sealant that was on Jack's wheels, so we will reuse it because we can. Put half of it in, turn it back up, take it off. Messy job, messy job. Oh shit, I've got it on your rotor. Oh my god, I've got it everywhere. I'm really sorry. That's right, we'll get a bit of alcohol on it. I get such a sweat on from doing this. Tidy up your absolute shit show of a mess. One and done. I did something which you're not, some people from Schwalbe would agree with me and some would disagree. They put this thing called a Tubeless Easy tab on their tyres. The idea of this is you're supposed to line it up with the valves, but I always think logos looks better. So I put logos next to the logos instead of tabs next to tabs. Big boy tyres, nearly a centimetre bigger. One done. We'll do logos again, right? Because it looks better. All Schwalbe tyres have written on them the direction, but also they're generally an arrow tread. Arrow should face forward. Some of their tyres, like the R Pro and the RS Pro, will say on them, depending if you're running it on the front or the rear, what orientation round you should run it. So I think for the RS Pro, for example, the recommendation is to run it the opposite way round. So it gives you a bit more bite on the rear and then run it the way that you would think to run it. So the arrow's pointing forward for the front. This is the bit I always struggle with, is the very last bit. Get your wrists on it, except the guy with the broken wrists. Take the valve core out, get this plugged in, boop, 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 and it's good. Valve core back in, tighten that little chap up with little twisties. Workout number 2. Go on, lads. Go on, lads. It's holding pressure. At the end of the day, if you see sealant around the edge, it's doing its job. That looks better, doesn't it? Bigger. Should go put some bougie tyres on. I'm so strong. I don't want to scuff up my Enve logos. boop. Great success. Ow! So I've done that one. Just need to put some sealant in these. Now I have an assortment of options here. I could use some Schwalbe sealant, Dock Blue, good stuff. I could use some old Styrkr sealant. This particular stuff you cannot inject in, you have to pour it in. And I don't know if I could be asked to do that. So I'm going to put some of the new ultimate sealant in, which means you can inject it straight into the valve. The fact you can inject it into the valve when I've just seated the tyres makes things a bit easier, really. So I'm going to do that. How much do I want to put in? Yeah, fuck it. Big tyre, innit? Tied like a tiger. That's all good. Pretty pleased with that. Boop, boop, boop. And the crowd goes wild. 50mm, 45mm. This is Schwalbe's new RX Pro. I'm putting a 50mm on the front. I would say this is probably the tyre that most people in the UK probably should ride for gravel. It is a bit more muddy proof. And then on the rear, I put a 45mm R Pro, which was the first of the new Pro gravel tyres to come out. A bit more grippy. You also have the RS, which is much more smoother tread. But I've gone for the combination of an RX and an R Pro. So RX on the front, R Pro on the rear. These are newly designed tyres. They basically have got a new compound in them. They're slightly faster rolling resistance. It's a little bit more punch protection, but the previous tyres were fantastic. So I don't know how they can make them much better. We'll find out, right? Note to say, not supposed to run a 50mm on the front on the dark matter, but I'm going to do it because it fits. If it fits, it sits. So, change the tyres over. I've gone for the R Pro and the RX Pro. So it's a bit of a mixed tyre combination. Previously at Badlands, I ran a G1 Bite and an Ultra Bite combination. So the grippier tyre on the front and the faster rolling resistance tyre on the rear. And I wanted to do something similar with Schwalbe's new racing gravel tyres. 45mm on the rear, 50mm on the front. I thought I wanted to see if I could fit a 50 on the front, and it fits. So I'm going to try it out, see how it is, and I'm going to, yeah, ride this around, see how I get on with it, and let you know what I think of the new compounds. That's all good. Pretty pleased with that.